Tourists aren't given sufficient warning about the dangers of visiting certain countries, according to a survey carried out for the BBC's Watchdog programme. More than half of the 14 travel agents questioned gave the wrong advice or failed to quote Foreign Office advice on tourist safety.
There was a time at the start of the decade when Algeria was getting popular with tourists, until this. The advice from the Foreign Office to people thinking of going to Algeria is don't. But some travel agents don't seem to have got the message.
It's from London to Algiers. I wonder why nobody goes there. It's extraordinary, isn't it? Yeah, it's very... She goes. I'm not sure. There's no answer that I could give you as of why.
The Foreign Office advised tourists to stay well clear of Cambodia's border with Thailand. Last year, 3 Britons were kidnapped and murdered there by Khmer Rouge guerrillas. Here, the travel agent's knowledge was particularly sketchy.
Drive through to Thailand, it's quite nice there, and either drive back through the border to Cambodia and come back from Cambodia, or maybe just come back from Thailand.
It says here in the car hire bit, official visitors can arrange to hire a government car.
Oh, that'll do. That's fine. It's really good.
The Association of British Travel Agents issue guidelines to nearly all their members, telling them which countries the Foreign Office advised Britons not to visit. ABTA says it'll now be writing to its members to remind them of their duties.
It's disappointing that travel agents aren't passing on the advice from the Foreign Office, but I do think there's a joint responsibility and an onus both on the holidaymaker or the traveller and the travel agent to educate themselves about the destination to which they're travelling.
And things change so quickly, say ABTA, even the Foreign Office can find it hard to keep up to date. But the fact that we could have gone to Algeria, a virtual war zone for years, is undoubtedly a bit of an embarrassment for the industry. Jonathan Maitland, BBC News.
And there'll be more on that report on tonight's Watchdog at 7:30 on BBC1. A fight involving the British boxer Warren Stowe was abandoned after a ringside security guard was killed during an attempted armed robbery. Stowe and the South African Simon Maseko were taking part in a middleweight contest when shots rang out.
Well, I don't believe this. We've had gunshots.
Both boxers fled the ring, and the spectators who'd filled the hall in Cape Town dived for cover. The gunman escaped empty-handed. The Princess of Wales is back home after her tour of Argentina, her first visit after expressing a wish to be an ambassador for Britain. Our court correspondent Jenny Bond has been assessing Diana's attempt to find that new role.
Back from her trip to Argentina, itself a delicate diplomatic mission, the Princess now faces a task that could prove equally sensitive. She must decide whether to take up the offer of talks with Buckingham Palace officials to help her define her future role. In her Panorama interview, she said she wanted to be an ambassador for Britain abroad. What is unclear is whether she envisages this as a change in her status or a continuation of the work she's been doing. Her visit to Argentina was classified as working rather than official. She was there at the invitation of a charity, and as on all her recent trips abroad, the emphasis was on the sick, needy or disadvantaged. But there's no denying that her presence in a country with which Britain was at war 13 years ago carried political overtones. And her meeting with President Carlos Menem gave the impression that the visit was official in all but name. Most people, though, seemed confused as to why the Princess was there.
Everybody is wondering if this is tourism, charity or conspiracy. Is she really the future roving ambassador of Britain? Is this the test ground? Maybe she shouldn't have chosen such a sensitive testing ground so soon after the Panorama programme. But the important thing of this is that everybody has thoroughly enjoyed her company.
Tomorrow on Today, a full report on Princess Di's big interview.
Wherever she goes, the Princess can guarantee headlines. Next month she'll be in America, where monarchy carries no mystique, and the pragmatic view taken by some commentators is that Britain should simply use her skills as a top saleswoman.
Have her cut the ribbon, have her shake hands with the worthies. Already they're feeling better. Hey, I'm looking at these swell speakers, this really nice car, and I got to shake hands with the Princess of Wales in the bargain.
As in Moscow earlier this year, the Princess has shown herself well able to cope alone. But high-profile visits could prove difficult in the future unless she's addressed her problems at home.
She obviously performs very well and could do so in the future. But, first of all, the relationship with the palace has got to be sorted out.
Having made it clear she won't go quietly, the Princess now faces the choice of growing isolation from the rest of the royal family or talking to the officials she branded the enemy. Jenny Bond, BBC News.
And now at 27 minutes past 1, the main news again. The Court of Appeal has upheld the convictions of Ernest Saunders and 3 other men in the Guinness trial. There's still no agreement between London and Dublin on the way forward for the Ulster peace process, and doctors are warning that a flu epidemic could be on the way. And that's all this Monday lunchtime from the 1 o'clock news. Very good afternoon to you.
Hello. Low pressure means a showery few days for us all. You don't need to see the ice bars to find out where the low pressure area is. Can you see that swirl of low pressure cloud sitting over the British Isles, hardly moving at all? It is actually moving very, very slowly southwestward and filling slowly over the next 48 to 72 hours. But all the time keeping in that southeasterly flow of air, that means fairly mild conditions. Temperatures several degrees above normal just about everywhere, and very little in the way of frost as well. Let's have a closer look at the rainfall radar at the moment. You'll see bands of showers. This is bad because bands of showers mean it can last in some areas for hours and hours, while some other areas nearby get very little in the way of rainfall. But most of us will have some showers in the next 24 hours. You can see those bands moving rather slowly eastwards across the Midlands towards East Anglia at the moment. In the southwest, some further heavy showers there, those bright colours too, moving gradually northwards over the country. And the forecast does keep those showers going for much of the next 24 hours, dying away inland during the evening and night, but then building up again from the south and west during the course of tomorrow. But not just as many showers tomorrow, not just as frequent, with more in the way of dry spells during the course of tomorrow. Today, though, heavy showers in many places, and those areas where it's dry at the moment, and there are some in the east and in the north, could well have further showers during the course of the afternoon, with outbreaks of continuous rain for a time at least up in Shetland as well. But a mild day, a breezy day too, temperatures around 10 Celsius, that's 50 Fahrenheit, and very little frost anywhere tonight, most of us having a mild night, becoming dry inland too tonight. And then tomorrow, after a sunny start in many inland areas, with showers in the south and west, showers again developing in many places, not as many showers as there have been today, and another fairly mild and again breezy day too. And then on Wednesday, some showers at times over Northern Ireland, Wales and southwest England, most other places dry, some drizzly rain in the northeast of England and eastern parts of Scotland, inland areas staying mostly dry, and again fairly mild in most areas. That's it from me.
Banned from Britain, worshipped in Washington. In the wake of the O.J. Simpson trial, is America moving towards apartheid?
Certainly among the whites you have decent people, but look at the history. That is not the history of saints, that's the history of demons.
Meet Louis Farrakhan, another compelling story on Panorama, tonight, 9:30 on BBC1.
The Boys in Blue.
I must say this Earl will look very well up on the wall.
Tell you what, Frank, you need a big hat to pin that badge on.
Are seeing red.
CID cannot operate without intelligence. You seem to have managed very well up there.
The Thin Blue Line, tonight 8:30 on BBC1.
Sad times in Knots Landing in 20 minutes on BBC1, after our first trip of the week down under to encounter the Ramsey Street neighbours.
What would you do if you encountered life from outer space?
Stop, Mike! Stop!
We're sticking to the story, no matter how rough it gets.
Can we have your autograph? You're famous. You've been to space.
Based on a startling true story, Fire in the Sky, the Tuesday night film, tomorrow 9:40 on BBC1.
It's teamwork, even back on shore.
I can't let Archie lose his job because of me. You're giving evidence to the HSE?
Of course.
But you weren't there.
Like fish out of water?
Mum, please!
What's going on?
Why don't you tell me what it is you want?
Why don't you know? Is this a private party or can anyone be miserable?
At least there's each other.
I'm losing my grip. What? On reality?
Roughnecks, Thursday 9:40 on BBC1.
The new Radio Times includes features on forthcoming BBC programmes, together with complete listings for all television and major satellite channels. Corsets for evening wear in half an hour in The Clothes Show. First on BBC1, another dramatic turn of events in Knots Landing.
Fraser may be down,
They found a bullet.
It's too close to the spine. They didn't want to risk taking it out.
But he's not out.
I suffered massive nerve and muscle damage. I was lucky to survive.
And with friends like these...
What? In his chair.
Oh.
Anything is possible. Due South returns tomorrow at 8 on BBC1.
This is BBC1.
Stand by for the biggest party in the universe.
Poll winners party.
With live performances from Pulp, M People, Boyzone, Robson and Jerome, Seal and Radiohead.
The biggest names?
Join Reeves and Mortimer, Take That, Mariah Carey, John Bon Jovi, Michael Jackson, Blur and Lee Evans.
Turn on.
Tune in. With Danny Bear and Andy Peters. The Poll Winners Party. Sunday at 2:55.
Only on BBC1.
Dennis Taylor and Ken Doherty are in action on BBC2 now in the third round of the UK Snooker Championship. In 25 minutes here on BBC1, the word quiz incognito. First, we're dressing to be noticed with the clothes show. Well, we were going to go to the clothes show, but apparently we've got a minor problem somewhere or other, so all we can say is we'll go to it as soon as we can. Well, these little things happen, but I'm glad to tell you that now we can join them on the clothes show.